friends and family, greetings, greetings. Welcome back to another edition of My Two Cents with Tricky Ricky. All right, guys. So in this video on today, man, I will be explaining to you all how to get Waves version 9 plugins to work on today's version of macOS. I'm currently on Mojave and I managed to get that to work in 2022, guys. All right. So to make a long story short, I have 3 production machines, man. I have one that is right here. This is my forensics unit. I use this right here for audio restoration, audio cleanup services, for the services that I sell online. Behind me, I have a production machine in which I make music on only. And then downstairs, I have another production machine where I only record, I only mix, I only master. All right. I have a ton of Waves plugins. All right. Some of which I am not using. I could be using those on this particular unit. So what did I do? I deactivated the license for that machine so I can install those here. So I get on Waves website, learn that the version 9 plugins are no longer able to be installed with the current version of Wave Central. So I had to go back and get a legacy installer. So I did that. So I'm going through the steps. I install it. I see the Wave shells. The plugins wasn't appearing in Mixbus, and neither were they appearing in Logic. So I hopped on Google. After searching the web high and low, I landed on a very promising thread because there were a lot of comments from a lot of people that were in a similar situation, and they were giving their remedies on how to rectify the situation. Okay. Now, it was some that said that they were able to do it, but they did not disclose how they did it. And the last comment that I got to, it was the most promising comment ever. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and pull my switcher up real quick so we can get my screen up so you can see where I'm at. So guys, if you're on Mac, I'm inside of the Waves folder in my applications. I'm at Macintosh/application/Waves. It's going to look like this. And in that thread, they instructed me to go inside of the Wave shells file. And you see I have a list of applications. They wanted me to run the Waves audio unit registry utility. Now, when I went to run that utility, I ran into a problem. I encountered an error. The error was basically telling me that the actual component, the VST, the VST3, all that stuff was not in place. Now, like I said, you can install it, but it no longer puts it in its location where it's supposed to be. So this is where the legwork comes in at. So what I ended up having to do was go to my plugins folder located at Macintosh/library/audio/plugins. And you'll be looking at this folder here. So what I did was I went back to the application folder where all my Wave shells are. So I took the Wave shell audio unit component, I copied it, and I pasted it into my components folder. I went back, I got my VST, copied it to VST, VST3, copied it to VST3, copied it to VST3, and it's WPAPI. I copied these 2 Wave shell bundles and I paste those into those folders. And then I came back to here and I ran the Waves audio unit registry utility. It finally scanned every single plugin. All of my plugins, including the version 9 plugins, were able to work. So as a result, I ended up opening Logic. I opened Mixbus. Hell, I've even opened Final Cut Pro. All of my plugins now work with this version of macOS Mojave in 2022. All I had to do was go to Waves website. I had to download the legacy installer. Some people say use version 10, but I installed a legacy installer, which copied the necessary files to my computer. And then from the actual Wave Central, I installed an offline installer and it showed me the folders, which I just downloaded. And I was able to install those plugins into my applications folder only. And from that point, I had to individually take my components, copy it to components, VST, copy it to VST, VST3, copy it to VST3, so forth, so forth. All right. So now that I have everything that I need, I felt the need to make this video so I can share this information, and hopefully it's helpful to some of you out there who are in a similar situation, because I know a lot of us may be using this. And you might ask, why am I still using version 9 plugins when there are version 11? I have version 11 plugins. I have every plugin that was made, but the version 9 plugins that I purchased at the time, I seen no reason to upgrade when I had it already. So it was running on a machine that is a bit older, by the way. Legacy machine, legacy hardware, legacy DAW, pristine sound. But those plugins were not being used by that system, so I had to allocate those to a new resource, which would be using those so I can get my money's worth. So that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please smash subscribe, because I will be doing another review soon, and we'll be talking about Mixbus. It's a really good DAW. You guys are sleeping on it. All right. So we'll get to that in time. So I do thank all those who stayed until the end. And until we meet again, please stay safe, hold it in the road, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right. Peace.